Okay, so the far left doesn't want him. Okay, and conservatives don't want him. Republicans don't like him. So he's got far left and right wing working together to destroy him. Biden knows this. He is counting on moderate, so-called moderate Americans, and that includes some Republicans, to vote for him because they don't like Donald Trump. So that's where he is. But the media is aligned with the far left in this country now. And the media wants a bomb thrower, far left bomb thrower, to get the nomination. They don't want Biden, generally speaking. I'm talking about New York Times, NBC News, those powerful entities. They don't want Biden. So Biden's people, and a lot of them are from the Obama camp, are basically saying to him, look, we're going to keep you away from a lot of the fray, F-R-A-Y. And we'll pick our spots. But all you have to do is present yourself as a rational human being, a moderate guy. That's what you have to do, Joe. So here's what Biden said on the campaign trail over the weekend. Let me quote it for you. There's an awful lot of really good Republicans out there. I get in trouble for saying that with Democrats, but the truth of the matter is every time we ever got into trouble with our administration, that's the Obama administration, remember who got sent up to Capitol Hill to fix it? Me. Because they know I respect the other team. They're decent people. They ran because they care about things, but they're intimidated right now, unquote. Now, this was a shrewd thing, because Biden wants to pick off the never-Trumpers in the Republican Party. And it's true that Biden did discuss a lot of things. He's not a we hate you because you're a Republican kind of guy. But that was no accident. That came out there. So the far left, of course, they want to hurt and destroy Republicans. That's what they want to do. Very interesting. So Joe's not going to show up for this coming weekend's meeting in San Francisco with the DNC, the Democratic National Committee. 13 presidential Democrats are going to attend, but not Joe. Why? Because at a convention like this in San Francisco, you're going to have every loon in the world. And they have access to the candidates. Nobody's not going to do that. Kamala Harris. So she's running around here on the East End where I am getting money for a campaign, okay? And she was at Spike Lee's house on Martha's Vineyard. Spike, pretty far left guy. So Kamala is not doing that well. New CNN poll out today. Now, I do not believe the CNN poll. So Kamala, you can take heart from that. All right, I don't believe anything that comes out of that organization. But they have Biden now at 29%. He was 22% in June. April, he was 39%. They got Harris now at 5%, CNN. 5% people supporting, Democrats supporting Harris. Down from 17 in June. That's impossible. It's impossible. All right? You don't lose support that fast. I mean, Kamala Harris, most people don't even know who she is. Still. Now, she's playing a game. She's trying to straddle the moderate and the radical left. But here's something really interesting, and this is why she's not going to get the nomination. So Kamala Harris co-sponsored the single-payer health care law that Bernie Sanders put forth last year. I wrote the damn law. Remember that? Okay, that was 2018. Co-sponsor was Kamala Harris. Now she says, put it on the screen. I finally I love the was like. I can't make this circle fit into a square. Look, I'm still committed to reining in the private insurance companies. They're jacking up prices, but people want a choice. And I don't want to be in the business of just taking choice from them without figuring out a way to create options. So she said that, according to Washington Post, at a fundraiser. But she co-sponsored the let's get rid of the health care insurance companies. Okay. All right, just give you an update. I know you don't care. Our big story today is Donald Trump basically criticizing liberal Jewish Americans who don't support him. Mr. Trump's thesis is fairly clear. He says he's done more for Israel than any other president, and he has. He's a big supporter of Israel, and he can't figure out why every Jewish American doesn't say, okay, I'm going to vote for you. And so he said that in no uncertain terms. Roll the tape.
I can't believe we're even having this conversation. Where has the Democratic Party gone? Where have they gone where they're defending these two people over the state of Israel? And I think any Jewish people that vote for a Democrat, I think it shows either a total lack of knowledge or great disloyalty.
Okay, now disloyalty, I guess, is to Israel. See, this is what the president does all the time. He's not as precise in his language as he might be. So some people could say that would be disloyalty to the United States. No, because you're entitled to vote for who you want to vote for. But disloyalty to Israel, you can have that debate. Because Donald Trump is very pro-Israel. He moved the capital to Jerusalem. He protects them and all that. So the liberal Jewish groups, and that's most of Jewish Americans, are liberals. So the groups, the organized groups, immediately attack Donald Trump. This is from the Jewish Democratic Council of America. Put it on the screen. I'll read it. This is yet another example of Donald Trump continuing to weaponize and politicize anti-Semitism. At a time when anti-Semitic incidents have increased due to the president's emboldening of white nationalism, Trump is repeating an anti-Semitic trope. That's just foolish and dishonest for that person to say that. There's nothing about white nationalism that has anything to do with Israel. And the allegation is false and defamatory. So we know where that organization, the Jewish Democratic Council of America, is coming from. Discount it. All right. Bernie Sanders. Now, I know why Bernie does what he does. He does it Green New Deal Bernie Sanders style. I love this. I love this because it makes it so clear what would happen if Bernie Sanders were ever elected president, or Elizabeth Warren, or any of the other far-left loons. All right, so I'm quoting from the Dispatch here. All right, this is Bernie's Dispatch. Senator Sanders would make substantial investitures, both at home and abroad, to take on climate change, including a historic $16.3 trillion public investment that echoes the mobilization of resources made during the New Deal in World War II. Wow! All the money we spent getting out of the Depression and to fight World War II, Bernie's going to spend that much money on climate change, okay? And as part of that, he's going to provide $200 billion to the International Green Climate Fund. That means we're going to give $200 billion of taxpayer money to foreign people who we don't know what they're going to do with it. This is Bernie. Goes on. The Vermont Progressive says he would invest $40 billion in climate justice to help under-resourced groups, communities of color, Native Americans, people with disabilities, children, and elderly recover from and prepare for the impacts of climate change. No white people, adults, children, you know. And so he's gonna give money to minority groups under the banner of, well, you got to prepare for climate change. Here's a check. Lunacy doesn't even cover this. This is so out there, I can't even imagine. That's why I love Bernie. Because Bernie, he says, I don't care what O'Reilly or anybody else thinks. I'm just going to lay it out there. Okay, so how's he going to pay for this? So he's going to pay for it within 15 years by making the fossil fuel industry pay for their pollution. That means he basically is going to tax the fossil fuel industry out of business. All right, so if you're in gas and oil, if you're in coal, if you're in fracking, if you're in shale, you're gone. Okay. Then he's going to curtail military spending on maintaining global oil dependence. That means we're getting out of the Gulf, the Persian Gulf, gone. All right, NATO, gone. Not protecting anybody's oil reserves. And he's going to collect new income, tax revenue, from 20 million jobs created. Yeah. So, look, Bernie is a communist. He's not a socialist anymore. He's not. This is communist stuff.